Hey there, fellow crypto explorers, and welcome to the NOSR Webias podcast. You're tuned in to the deep dive your trusted guide through the thrilling, and sometimes I'll be honest, a little bewildering world of cryptocurrency. Buckle up because today we're soaring into the exciting realm of Aerodrome finance, aka Aero. But before we take off, don't forget to check out the awesome offers waiting for you down in the links below. You never know what crypto treasures you might uncover.
Aerodrome Finance. It's like a high-flying acrobat in the DeFi circus, performing some pretty daring feats in the decentralized finance arena.
DeFi, now that's a term we hear a lot, but what does it actually mean for someone you know like you who might be considering investing in Aero?
Well, think of DeFi as finance unshackled from the traditional system like banks. It leverages that blockchain technology to create a more open and transparent financial landscape. And for investors, this can mean some pretty exciting opportunities for higher returns, but also some added risks to be aware of.
It's like venturing off the beaten path. More potential for discovery, but you also need a good map and compass, right?
Exactly. And when it comes to Aero, the potential for discovery is certainly there. Just look at its year-to-date performance, a whopping 1,272.31% increase. To put that into perspective, Bitcoin gained 44.31% and Ethereum a mere 15.64%. So yeah, Aero is turning heads and making some serious waves in the crypto world.
Talk about a high-flying start. But before we get carried away by all the hype, let's ground ourselves with some facts. Where's Aero trading at right now?
As of today, December 12th, 2024, Aero is cruising at approximately $2.22. It's comfortably nestled among the top 100 cryptocurrencies by market cap, boasting around $33.3 million.
Not bad for a relative newcomer. It even managed a 5% climb in the last 24 hours alone. Clearly, this crypto isn't afraid of heights. Now, everyone loves a good prediction. What are the experts saying about Aero's short-term prospects?
Well, CoinLore and CoinCodex are feeling pretty bullish about Aero's short-term trajectory. In fact, 12 out of 17 technical indicators are flashing buy signals. They suggest Aero could reach $2.43 within the next 10 days.
That's a potential gain that could make anyone's portfolio a bit lighter. But I have to ask, what's fueling this optimism? I know you mentioned technical indicators. What are those exactly, and why should we care about them?
Think of them as like breadcrumbs left by the market, clues to potential price movements. Two key indicators are moving averages and the relative strength index, or RSI.
Okay, let's break those down one by one, starting with moving averages. Can you give us a crash course for those of us who aren't fluent in, crypto speak?
Imagine you're charting AQR's price over time. Moving averages are like trend lines that smooth out those daily ups and downs, giving us a clearer picture of the overall direction. AERO is currently soaring above its key moving averages, the 10-day, the 20-day, all the way up to the 200-day average. This suggests strong buying pressure and a positive trend.
So it's like AERO is riding a wave of popularity. And the longer it stays above those averages, the stronger the wave seems to be. What about the RSI? What clues does that give us?
The RSI measures the speed and strength of price changes, like a speedometer for Aero's climb. It helps us spot potential overbought or oversold conditions. Right now, Aero's RSI is quite high, suggesting it might be a bit overheated in the short term, but the overall momentum remains strong.
So maybe a little turbulence ahead, but nothing to derail this flight entirely. That's interesting. But let's zoom out a bit from the short-term view. What's the medium-term outlook for Aero in 2025?
Looking at 2025, predictions are a bit more grounded, but still positive. The general consensus is that Aero could reach around $2.59 with a potential floor of $1.71. So while there's room for growth, it might not be quite as explosive as that initial takeoff.
Right, as they say, what goes up must come down at least a little. But those 2025 predictions are still pretty enticing. Now let's jump into the time machine and look even further ahead. What's the long-term forecast for Aero? Are we talking moon landing or meteor shower?
Fasten your seatbelts, because some analysts are predicting Aero could reach $5.79 by 2030. And if we really let our imaginations soar, by 2040, we're looking at a potential high of $19.81.
Whoa, those are some numbers that could give anyone a serious case of crypto fever. But let's be realistic for a moment. These long-term predictions are more like gazing into a swirling crystal ball, right? A lot can change between now and 2040.
You're absolutely right. The crypto market is still in its early days, and predicting that far out is like trying to map uncharted territory. Those predictions rely on a lot of assumptions. Continued adoption of cryptocurrencies, ongoing development of the Aerodrome ecosystem, and of course the unpredictable nature of the global economy.
So a lot of ifs and maybes. But hey, that's part of what makes the crypto world so exciting, right? It's all about potential and navigating the unknown. Speaking of Aero's journey, let's rewind a bit and trace its flight path. It launched back in September 2023, and it's been quite a ride, hasn't it?
It has been quite a spectacle. Aero burst onto the scene with an initial coin offering, or ICO, that generated an incredible return of 1,041.56%. Talk about making a grand entrance.
Over 1,000% gain from its ICO. That's like hitting the crypto jackpot right out of the gate. Clearly, Aero caught the attention of investors from day one. What do you think fueled that initial surge in interest?
Well, several factors were at play. First, timing is everything in the crypto world. And Aero launched right as interest in DeFi was exploding. People were looking for alternatives to traditional finance, and Aero's innovative approach to decentralized exchange and yield farming caught their eye.
So it's a combination of being in the right place at the right time and offering something truly innovative. But we can't talk about Aero without addressing that heart-stopping volatility rate of 189.89%. I mean, that's not exactly a smooth flight.
Volatility is the price of admission to the crypto roller coaster. It's a double-edged sword. The potential for big gains is there, but so is the risk of sudden drops. It's crucial for investors to understand their own risk tolerance and invest accordingly.
That's where those risk management strategies we discussed earlier come in right. Stop-loss orders, diversification, dollar cost averaging. All those tools can help smooth out the ride a little bit. But aside from the volatility, are there any other signs that Aero's flight path might be stabilizing?
One positive indicator is the recent increase in total value locked, or TVL, on the Aerodrome platform. It's jumped by 22% in the last 30 days, which suggests growing user engagement and liquidity.
More users and more liquidity. That sounds like a pretty healthy ecosystem. But let's dive a little deeper into the factors that could make or break Aero's future. We've already talked about market sentiment. But what about the technology itself? What kind of developments should we be watching for?
Aero's success will hinge on its ability to stay ahead of the curve in the ever-evolving DeFi space. You want to see continuous improvements in security, scalability, and user experience. Strategic partnerships with other DeFi protocols and integrations with other blockchains could also significantly expand Aero's reach and attract new users.
It's like a high-stakes game of chess, always anticipating the next move and adapting to the changing landscape. And speaking of moves, what about those whales we mentioned earlier? Those large holders of Aero who can make some pretty big splashes.
Whale activity is certainly something to watch. On one hand, their large-scale buying can drive up the price and create excitement. But on the flip side, a sudden sell-off by a whale could send the price plummeting, especially given Aero's relatively small market cap.
So it's like watching a pod of whales migrate. You never know which direction they'll head next. But for us everyday investors, how do we navigate these potentially turbulent waters? What are some key indicators we should be watching for to make informed decisions about Aero?
Well, there are a few key indicators that can act like your own personal crypto compass. First, keep a close eye on trading volume. A surge in trading volume often precedes significant price movements, up or down. Think of it like a gathering wave, you know? The bigger the wave, the more powerful the impact when it hits the shore.
So big waves, big moves, got it. What other signals should we be tuning into?
Social media sentiment can be surprisingly insightful. Platforms like Twitter and Reddit are where the Aero community gathers to share their hopes, their fears, their predictions. Keeping an ear to the ground can give you a sense of the overall mood, whether it's bullish or bearish.
It's like taking the pulse of the Aero community. What's got them buzzing? What's making them nervous? Are there any other breadcrumbs we can follow to get a better sense of Aero's trajectory?
Absolutely. Don't underestimate the power of official news and announcements. Keep tabs on Aerodrome's website and social media channels. For updates on partnerships, technological advancements, or any regulatory developments, these can all have a big impact on the price, so staying informed is key.
It's like a treasure hunt. Sifting through all the noise for those golden nuggets of information that can give you an edge. But with so much information flying around, how do we know what to trust? It can feel kind of overwhelming at times.
That's where your critical thinking skills come in. Don't just blindly follow the hype or get swept up in the fear-mongering. Do your own research, cross-check information from multiple sources, and be wary of those overly optimistic or pessimistic predictions. Remember, no one can predict the future with absolute certainty, especially in the crypto world.
It's all about being an informed and empowered investor, right? Not letting fear or greed cloud our judgment. But at the end of the day, it's also about having some fun along the way. This crypto journey is a wild ride, and we're all in it together.
Absolutely. It's an exhilarating time to be part of this crypto revolution, witnessing the birth of new technologies and financial systems. And who knows, maybe Aero will indeed soar to those dizzying heights predicted for 2030 and 2040.
Well, if that happens, we'll be sure to have another deep dive to celebrate. But for now, let's recap what we've uncovered about Aerodrome Finance. We explored Aero's current price, its impressive performance, and those enticing yet uncertain price predictions, from the short term to the long term. We also dove deep into the factors that could shape Aero's future: market sentiment, technological advancements, the ever-present whales, and those all-important risk management strategies to help us navigate the volatility.
And throughout it all, we emphasized the need for continuous learning, critical thinking, and a healthy dose of skepticism. The crypto world is constantly changing, so staying curious and informed is essential for making smart decisions.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Aerodrome Finance, we leave you with a question to ponder. Given Aero's meteoric rise and its position in this ever-expanding DeFi universe, what role might it play in the future of finance? It's a question worth exploring and one that will undoubtedly unfold in exciting and unexpected ways.
And if you're eager to continue your crypto exploration and discover some amazing offers, be sure to visit those handy links in the description below.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, happy investing, and may your crypto adventures be profitable and full of discovery.